Chelsie Nicole and Nobody Told Me next on the Chris Top program.
The Top, broadcasting worldwide on iHeartRadio and Spreaker.com.
Welcome to another awkward mistletoe moment. I was just wondering who hung the mistletoe in the guys' locker room. This has been another awkward mistletoe moment.
Thank you.
Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
I am the one and only Chris Top.
You can either talk in the Chris Top program.
Broadcasting live from my lavish studio apartment.
The VCR and the DVD, there was a night of black right back in 1970. We didn't know about the World Wide Web, was a whole different game being played back when I was a kid. Wanna get down in a cool way, picture yourself on a beautiful day. Big bell bottoms and groove long hair, just walking in style with a party book and the play. You can listen to the music on the Chris Top program. You can hear the music on the Chris Top program. Play the music on the Chris Top program.
This is the Chris Top program.
And I'm the one and only Chris Top, broadcasting live from our lavish home studio here in sunny Clarksville, Tennessee, with an ocean view. How in the heck are you doing, world? You know, we went out last night and ate. We had seafood. It was so good. It was so good. I drink sweet tea. Sweet tea. I'm from the South, so it's one of the things I just can't cut out of my diet. No matter how healthy I try to be, I'm just not going to do it. Now, I don't keep it at home, and I don't drink it on a regular basis, but when I eat out, I do like to have my glass of sweet tea, whether it be with seafood or a steak or just whatever it is. I like my sweet tea, and that's just how it's going to have to be, I think. And it was so good, too. Oh, my gosh. It was so good because I don't drink it all the time, and I don't drink sodas anymore. And it was nice. It was nice to sit down and do that. But then afterwards, we came back, and we decided to watch It's a Wonderful Life last night, and that's something that we do every year. It's something I've been doing since I was as young as I could remember. And it never, ever fails. I'll watch the whole movie, and I'm such a girl. I really am. I'm such a chick sometimes. There were certain times, during the movie where I would get a little, sentimental because it is that kind of movie. And then at the very end, when everybody starts coming in to help George Bailey, I just start bawling like a little girl. And I do that every stinking time. And I guess it's okay. Don't judge me. I mean, I can't help it. But it's a good movie, and I watched it. But you'd think I would know what's coming and I would get past it, but I don't. It's like every time it's like, man, all these people, they do love you and their lives have been so. Well, you've seen the story, and it just kind of hits me at once. But I mean, isn't something like that what everybody really wants? I mean, the measure of a man's wealth, should be based on the amount of friends that he has. Because when you have a lot of friends, a lot of good friends, or people, or at least people that know they can depend on you, that says a lot, I think, about a person's character. And isn't that something that we all want, to reach that level in our lives? I mean, doesn't that go beyond money or fame or popularity or anything else? I think it does for me, and I think I'm getting to that point in my life where it's important to have a strong family bond, relationship bonds, things like that, and it really does mean something, and it really comes out, I think, during the holiday season. But anyway, we've got Chelsie Nicole on the program today with her song "Nobody Told Me," and we're going to tease you too. I've got a short little snippet, a short little clip of True Bliss. It's a brand new song, and nobody's heard it yet. I got a chance to hear it, but then I made the clip because I'm not supposed to play the whole thing, or I'll get in trouble. So we'll have Chelsie Nicole next on the show. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Let me just say this before I do anything else. I love you to death, and I know it's a hectic time of the year, and you might be driving right now on your way to go Christmas shopping, or maybe you're going to work or coming home from work or whatever the case may be, but you do take the time out to listen to the show, and that really, really, truly does make me feel good, and it makes me feel special, and I can never, ever, ever, ever thank you enough for that. Magnolia Emporium, located in historic South End in Charlotte's Gold District, right next to historic Wilmore neighborhood. Home decor.
Home decor.
Interior design.
Interior design.
Residential and hospitality open to the trade. 307 Lincoln Street in the dark gray building, right behind Unknown Brewery and Craft Growler Shop. Magnolia Emporium.
Listening to what a client wants, whether spoken or unspoken.
We want your space to reflect your success.
Wubba Worldwide with the Christoph program.
Can I slow down? Wabba?
Wubba.
Wabba.
Wubba.
Yes.
Okay, Wubba Worldwide. Okay.
Wabba Worldwide.
With Wubba Worldwide.
Yes.
Wubba Worldwide. Tor. Wubba. Wubba? Wubba? Wubba World. I get it now. Wubba Worldwide. Wubba Worldwide. Wubba Worldwide with the Christoph program. Okay. Wubba Worldwide with the Christoph program. No, it's not that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
No. It's better. Okay, so it's better.
It's not bad. It's
Wubba Worldwide. Wubba Worldwide with the Christoph program.
Beautiful.
Cool?
Beautiful.
Okay, Wubba Worldwide. So on. Wubba Worldwide with the Christoph program.
If you're gonna wabba, you might as well wabba worldwide.
Wubba Worldwide with the Christoph program.
This has been a Chris Top production.
You can either talk in the Christoph program. Take it from the top.
You are absolutely, positively in the right place. You're listening to the Chris Top program, and I would love for you to join the voices in my head, and you can do that if you'll go to the ChrisTopProgram.com, and you can type away in the chat. You can ask questions, leave comments, whatever you want to do. And if you have no idea what the chat box is, that means you're listening on iHeartRadio or Stitcher or one of 30 other places, then that's okay too. I'm glad you're listening, but if you ever want to communicate with us during the show, you'll have to go to the ChrisTopProgram.com to do that. But I don't take you guys for granted either. The ones that download the show, absolutely love you. I do. I just picture people listening to me while they drive, and I don't recommend that actually. But whatever, whatever floats your boat. So I'm sitting here sipping on my hot tea, and I'm talking to Chelsie. How are you doing today, Chelsie?
I'm great, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing good. What are you drinking? Are you drinking alcohol?
No, I don't drink alcohol.
I don't eat now. Is that a decision that you made just not to drink, or do you just not like it?
It's a decision I used to, and I just decided that it wasn't a good thing for me, not a good place to be, and just changed my life around. So
yeah, and it's funny. I've never really been a good drinker. I mean, it's because I drink and I can't handle it. So
exactly, that's exactly why I couldn't.
Yeah, and I can't even tell you the things that I did. So so I just don't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah. I mean, but every once in a blue moon I'll have something, but it's got to be like a super girly drink,
There you go.
Yeah, like a strawberry margarita or something.
If you've gotta.
I mean, if the peer pressure sets in, and
can't have that.
and I've got to have a drink, then I just do that. Are you ready for Christmas?
I am so excited for Christmas. I actually just drove down from Nashville back home to Georgia to be with family, so I'm really excited.
Oh, so you're in Georgia right now?
I am in Georgia.
So who are you staying with?
Well, tonight I'm staying with my husband's parents, and then we have a Christmas party with my family tomorrow in a little neighboring town. And then I'm actually singing in church on Sunday morning, and so I'm excited about that because it's been we haven't been home in a year, so it's really great to actually be able to come and they asked last time, they were like, well, next time you're in town, please let us know so we can have you sing. So we actually set that up before I made the trip down. And so we'll have that. And then we'll be staying with my family in Atlanta on our way back up, and then make the rest of the way home and be at work during the week, and then go back to Atlanta for Christmas weekend. So it'll be a lot of driving.
So are you going to have any chance at all to relax?
I think so, because any time when I'm with my family, I'm pretty relaxed. They're awesome and just easy going. So
yeah, and I've been asking everybody, because I want to make sure that I don't go hungry on Christmas. So I mean, if I just showed up, would that be okay?
Oh gosh, it definitely there will be plenty of food.
Okay, so
no doubt about that.
If I just show up to eat and then maybe just take a nap on the couch.
That's what we all do. So, we grab a spot in the floor. So
okay,
do that too.
So as long as there's a place for me to sleep, then I'm good.
Definitely.
Okay, good, good.
Yep.
Okay, so
we'll
now
send you the address.
Okay. So your husband, he's there with you?
He is. Well, he's in another room. I told everyone that they weren't allowed.
You're like, get out.
Exactly.
Are they listening?
Yeah.
Are they listening to you?
I think so.
Oh
yeah, I think so.
I'll try not to embarrass you too bad then.
I was thinking it'd be a little weird. I'm like, I don't want to be in the same room as you while you're listening to me, and then it would be weird. So I'm gonna go. See you, bye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are you able to find time to go around and perform or do any live events, or is it too hectic right now?
Well, actually, we've been really excited about this time of year, because a lot of the musicians in Nashville, especially, they, are worried about the Christmas season and not actually having time for shows. But we actually, I have a duo partner. His name is Aaron, and we do a lot of covers with different genres, as well as our original music and my independent original music as well. And we actually just got a gig next week on Christmas Eve, so Wednesday, at Music Row Nashville, and that's our first time performing there. So we're really excited about that.
Oh, that is exciting.
And yeah, it'll get us downtown a little bit more. So we are looking forward to it. And then
now, what time does that start?
Well, we took a later slot. We're doing from 10 o'clock until 11 o'clock at night on Wednesday. Yeah, we'd love to have anybody out there that can make it. That'd be great.
And it's just open to the public. Now, where's it at?
Yeah, it's downtown on Music Row. It's, I haven't even looked up the address.
Okay, okay.
Shame. But it's on Music Row, so it's right downtown, about a mile and a half up the street from that area.
Okay, so if somebody's interested and they want to come and check you out live, where can they find the information at?
Yeah, well, if they follow me on Facebook, Chelsie Nicole, and I'll create an event for that as well, and it'll have the address on there once I get that up. But they can also just type in Music Row Nashville, and that'll pop the address right up for them.
Oh, so they can find out before you know about it.
Yeah, basically, they could look right now. They'd be ahead of the game.
Good.
So. Yeah.
Now, if I wanted to follow you on Twitter and stalk you a little bit, learn more about you, download some songs, how do I do all that?
Sure. Well, I'm a little difficult. Well, my parents were a little difficult. They decided to spell my name different than everybody else. So it's, twitter.com, obviously, and then /Chelsie, but it's spelled Chelsie. And then I do 2 underscores and then Nicole. Nicole, and that'll take you to my Twitter. And then Facebook, my music page on Facebook is what I use the most of right now. It's what I've become most familiar with how to work and everything, but it's just facebook.com/Chelsie Star, spelled straight out like that. And unfortunately, my YouTube channel was demolished, basically.
Oh no!
I was creating an email specifically for my music, and when I did that, my email address that was attached to my YouTube account deleted with it. So it took my whole YouTube channel. But I rebooted it, and so I'm just now getting that started. So I would just encourage anybody to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And then as I get that back up, I'll be sharing that link a lot more. So
okay, now, so are we Twitter buddies for life now?
We definitely Twitter buddies for life.
Oh, good,
totally.
good. Your husband's cool with that, right?
He's totally cool.
If we tweet.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I know he's listening. And if I show up for dinner, I don't want him to be mad at me or anything like that.
No, he's totally supportive. You know, when you've got the girls in the music business, you got to have total trust.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, I mean, is he cool with everything, like with you going out and singing and doing your thing? Does he come in and support you?
He does. He does. Sometimes, you know, Aaron and I, we do a show at KOA Campground. Mm-hmm. Every Thursday during the hot season especially. And, you know, my husband has a class. He's a graphic designer, and he goes to school for that. And so sometimes he has classes at the times that we have shows, but whenever he doesn't, he's always there to support us. And, he's really supportive. It's a blessing for sure.
Oh, well, good. That's important. I bet he sits in the back and he's like, that's my wife, Chelsie.
Yeah. Well, you know, I feel bad for him because he did that for a while. And I think now he's heard the song so many times, he gets really excited when we add more. He's like, "Oh, good, this
that's
is new."
Cool.
So, yeah,
that's cool. Now, Chelsea's fam is in the chat. She says, or they said that your name is actually spelled correctly. All the other ones are wrong.
Yes. That sounds like my mom.
So she was a step ahead of everybody else then.
Yeah, basically.
It's not her fault at all.
No, I love the way my name is spelled. I actually think it fits me a lot better than it wouldn't be right if my name was spelled like the normal Chelsie. I'm not normal Chelsie.
So what point in your life did you realize you could actually sing? I mean, it goes beyond mom listening because moms are pretty biased.
Right, they are. They are.
So I mean, they're always going to say you're good, even if you're terrible.
Sure, that's true.
So when did you know for a fact that you were able to sing?
Well, it's funny. I would not have believed that I could do it had it not been for my mom. You know, I was videoed when I was 5 singing Grease in the living room of my grandparents' house. And then when I turned 7, you know, we always had these grandparents shows and Christmas shows at school and elementary, and my mom told me that if I didn't audition for a solo, she wasn't letting me in the car that day.
Oh my goodness, tough love.
Yeah, exactly. And I went outside that day, and she rolled the window down just barely enough to ask me if I did, and I did, and so she let me in the car, and the next day I found out I got the solo. So
that is great.
Yeah, that really helped me get my start. Obviously, I was really young, so it wasn't until I was in 10th grade, I switched from private school to public school, and I joined the show choir. And it was at that time that I became section leader of the soprano group as time went on, and I got the director's award and different things of that sort, and started doing solos every show. And it really just became a true passion. After that, I got an opportunity to sing for the jazz band at school, and that led to a director at college seeing my video and giving me scholarship to sing jazz for college. And
how cool is that to get money for doing something to get an education that you love doing?
No kidding. That was really the start of it. It was like, hey, if everyone else believes that I can do this, I can do it. And
maybe I do have talent. Thanks, Mom, for threatening me. That's wonderful.
Yeah, for sure. I tell her that all the time. And she, oh goodness, she will definitely tell you. She's like, and I won't stop it either.
Now, I read in your biography, I think, you've actually been on a couple of the TV shows.
Well, now I've almost made it.
Okay, so tell me about that experience.
It's been a wild ride. You know, a lot of people have misconceptions about how those shows go. And, you know, it's the preliminary rounds. There's so much that go into the process. I think my most successful one would have been The Voice, and I'd love to try again sometime. But I've just been kind of waiting, you know, just trying to see when I feel like the right time is to do it again. But what happened, my most successful time is you go to these preliminary rounds, and gosh, I was there at like 5:30 in the morning, and I didn't do my audition until around 5 o'clock that evening.
Oh, and you were exhausted, I bet.
It's a long day every time you get into one of those situations. And yeah, but I was in the room, and they have 10 people, contestants, and you stand up at the tape, sing, sit down, next one goes, and then after those 10 people, they usually feed you the line of, well, you're all great, but not what we're looking for this time. You know, that's the general thing. And it just so happened that this time that I auditioned, they said that, and they were like, "Except Chelsie, we'd like you to stay."
Oh.
And, yeah. It was very, very exciting, and I was just overwhelmed with joy. And they dismissed everybody else, and I stayed behind, and they had me fill out paperwork for the next round. And of course, the next round wasn't on the TV show either, but I did get a chance to go. And unfortunately, this was kind of early on in my professional gigging stage. You know, I still hadn't quite figured out who I am as an artist. And so I had a tough time picking the songs that I wanted to do, and that's such a critical thing when it comes to these auditions, because it's all about the popularity contest and who you represent as an artist. And I definitely picked probably the wrong songs, and I think that's what cut me off at that point after that second round.
Well, I mean, looking back, what did you choose, and what do you think you should have gone with?
Well, I would still choose pop rock, the same that I did then. However, I would just choose smarter songs and artists to go off of. Some things a little bit more classic. Like at that time, I think I did a Pat Benatar song and I did a Pink song. But you go in there and they tell you to prepare 4 songs and bring instrumental track, and then they only let you sing like half of 2 of them. And so it really stumps you. You know, you get in there excited to have this full opportunity to show what you do, and then you don't even get to the bridge of the songs before they stop you. And, the bridge is the point to really show what you can do. And so all in all, those songs didn't show enough of a range for who I am. And at that point, I really just didn't know. And I think that's another reason why I haven't done an audition. I think the last time was last year in February. I tried out again, and I sang House of the Rising Sun, and it went really well. But I think it was one of those things where they were looking for something else and just didn't give me that shot that time. But that's why it's such a gamble when you go for these things, because... Well,
I mean, it's kind of like that in anything, I think, you do in the music industry, because, I mean, you could get 20 doors slammed in your face, but that doesn't mean you don't have talent.
Right. Yeah, thank you. That's true.
Yeah.
But, it's hard because of the public. These people have the idea that only people that are really, really good end up on the show. Of course, you see some of the people, like, for instance, on American Idol, that are for the laughs and the giggles and whatnot. But when it comes to The Voice, generally most people are fairly good. But sometimes you get those that you're like, well, they wanted to see if they could be most improved or something of that sort. But generally, when people ask me, it's always kind of, it's a little of a letdown when I have to explain to people the process when they ask me, why didn't you make it? It's like, you have to understand, this isn't just about what I can or can't do. There's so much more that goes into it. And I might just not have the look for what they were going for this season. They didn't see that in me. They needed ratings for a different type of person, and that's just the way it goes. But yeah, just with anything in the music industry, that's always what you're going to deal with, because times change, music changes, and it's all about being relevant with what people are looking for in that very moment. And it's all about timing and who you meet and know. Absolutely.
I mean, and if anybody comes to, especially Nashville, I think it's probably one of the hardest places to make it. But if you do, I mean, hey, it's Nashville.
Right.
And there's different, I guess, examples of making it. One would be just making a living at doing it, whether you're just, whether you make it big and you're playing LP Field, or whether you're playing, 3 or 4 bars a night, 5 nights a week.
Right.
And it's got to be intimidating, I think, for anybody, especially new in the music business, to come to a place like Nashville. All these talented people, all these beautiful people that can sing. And and then you're just right in the middle of it, and you've got to constantly question yourself, am I good enough?
Right. That is the truth.
Yeah. So it's not an easy business. I mean, people see what the artists want us to see.
Right.
The smiles, the videos, the songs, but there is so much sweat and heartache and tears behind all that.
Yes.
Really, really is. And it's such an inspiration to talk to people like yourself and get the stories and see that you are still so positive even after you're beat down in the business.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
I moved there 2 years ago, and so many people told me, you know, it generally takes about 5 years to really get the connections you need and start doing shows pretty regularly. And I felt really blessed just because I will admit I was extremely overwhelmed when I first got there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I almost didn't do a whole lot just because there were so many options and roads that I could take and people to talk to that I was just like, whoa, I have no idea what to do. And so I just kind of sat back for a little while and which I met my guitarist right away. So we just kind of started dabbling in what area we were going to go for with our music. And that was fun, but it took a little bit before we really started looking for venues. And then after a while, we started to develop our sound, and I was like, okay, it's time to really start recording and doing this. And that's the thing, like, no matter how discouraging it can get, because it does, because you have to know, though, that you can always be happy based on your decisions of how much of it you want in your life.
Sure.
You know, and so I definitely would love to be a recording artist and be one of the famous people that's doing it nonstop. But I'm also just happy going along the journey and doing as much as I can, as long as I know that the people that are hearing my music love what they hear and that it has an impact on their life.
Sure. And your dad's in the chat. I want to ask you this question while he's listening. When he how does he look at you when he looks at you? Like, seeing how far you've come with the passion that you have, like, what do you see in his eyes when you look at him?
Oh, wow. He is such a sentimental father. It's so sweet. Every time I'm performing and I look out there, I'll tell you, there's extremes. He's either crying with really, really puffy red eyes and this grin from ear to ear that, thank goodness, you know it's happy tears.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's holding up 2 fingers. Okay, not one.
That's good.
Okay. And those 2 fingers are showing the letter L. And sometimes while I'm singing, he'll even mouth, loser. So that's just a it brings me down, you know, to help me remember. No, that I just have hilarious parents. They're so fun. And my very first show that we had in Nashville, they drove, at that time they were living in South Georgia, and they drove 7.5 hours and walked in. I had no idea they were coming. And it was our first show. They showed up, and it was such an awesome experience to have them there for that.
Oh, how cool is that? They showed up and you weren't even expecting them. That's great.
No, I was in the middle of a song and just lost it, just cried. Kind of a sad, but.
And then your dad laughed at you and did the little L thing.
Basically, yes, exactly.
Well, what kind of advice? Because I mean, you've been through a lot of the crap. Being in Nashville. So what is some advice you would give to somebody, maybe a young lady that's starting out in the business? What would you tell her? Would you tell her run away?
No, definitely not. But the biggest thing that I think is so important is to stay true to yourself, especially if you're young. And, you know, a lot of artists, I've been fortunate to sort of mature myself along in this and take it step by step. But some people are young when their parents take them into it automatically and push and push and push. And I think there's a positivity in that, definitely. But I just would give the advice that these girls stay true to themselves and don't allow the industry to stress them and pressure them into becoming someone that they're not.
Sure.
And 2, just to know that, yes, there are going to be sketchy people in the business that are just trying to use you for your talent, but there are also people that are genuine, especially in Nashville. Everyone's trying to make something of their career and just have fun doing it.
Right.
And so there are people that really want to help. But one advice, and this is from experience since I've moved there, don't take it personally when someone is holding back information. My experience when I first moved there, anytime I would reach out to someone that I was acquaintances with before I even moved there, just to try to get a little bit more information and knowledge how to move forward, they would just not be super open about it because, they had to go through it. And so some people are a little hesitant to give out all of the information because they want you to go through it too. They don't want it to be easier for you than it was for them, and then for you to get ahead of them. And that's just, unfortunately, that's a part of being human, and sometimes people just aren't as genuine and willing to help. So sometimes you will deal with that, but you can't take it personally. Just because I think that's personality type. That's just depending on who you're talking to. And there's always going to be someone, as long as you keep trying and don't give up, keep making those connections and keep reaching out, and you'll find those people that are willing to help you and want to work with you.
Absolutely. Nashville is such a great place to network. And I said it was one of the hardest or one of the toughest places to make it, maybe one of the most cutthroat places. But at the same time, you'll never find a place where there's more people willing to help you and work with you.
Exactly.
So it's a unique situation to be in, I think. And and from what I've seen in my past experiences, if you're in Nashville and you have some talent, if you can at least just survive for a year,
right?
Yeah, I think you're okay. Yeah, and I've seen so many people just come and go in a matter of 2 or 3 months, and it's sad. But then again, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be.
Sure, that's true.
Yeah, your granddad's proud of you too. Hey, Jerry.
Oh.
so
Hi.
so he's listening. So my ratings are going through the roof tonight just because of your family. So this is great.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is wonderful. I'm going to have you on the show every night, I think.
Oh, okay. I'm good with that too. Great.
So what's
I have the best family. Seriously.
What's going on for 2016? What kind of big plans do you have?
Well, I'm very, very excited. I just released my first single, and that was a big step in the next part of my career. 2016, we're going to start off with releasing another independent song that I actually wrote this year, but and we've had a recording of it, but we're actually going to do a little bit more production with it and then have it out by Valentine's Day. So that'll be kind of our first.
Oh, I know what song that is. I know which one it is.
What song that is.
Hey, let's go ahead and play the clip. You want to?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I'm excited.
Great.
I'm excited about this.
Awesome.
Now, so Bliss is going to be released on Valentine's Day, so we're going to hack so many people off right now. You know that, right?
Yeah,
I'm
okay with that.
They're going to hear this. They're going to be like, man, that's really good. I want more than 24 seconds.
Well, that's what we need. That's exactly what we need.
So when Valentine's Day rolls around, is it going to come out on Valentine's Day or around that time?
Probably about a week before. We want to give time, people, if they want to play it for their significant other on Valentine's Day, it'll be out a little bit before that, and to get them in the lovey spirit, I suppose.
Gotcha.
Before the day.
Gotcha. So you're like Cupid.
I am a lot like Cupid. I radiate love.
But it's such a happy song. I mean, it's one of those songs I'd like to hear first thing.
Good. That makes me very happy to hear. It was one that I wrote. I wrote it for my husband on Valentine's Day, and it took me about 3 hours to write it. And I sat down with just no idea really what I was going for, and that's usually how it happens when I do write a song. It's just very sporadic and just these ideas of truth, parts of who I am and what I've been through, and anything that I write is always very genuine in that matter, and just pouring out my heart. And this one, because I am so happy in my marriage, it's something that just easily came to me as I was going for it and writing it. And I'm glad that translates and makes others just as happy as when I wrote it. So
I'm excited. I want to play the whole song. I'm so excited. So I can't imagine how you must feel. Like having it ready, you just probably want to share it right now, don't you?
I do. I really
be tough.
do. But I'm excited too about the more production that we're going to do with it, and then the outcome. I think it'll make such a cool thing and advancement with it. But yeah, this clip is exciting. I'm really excited for people to hear it.
Hey, whenever you and your husband argue, do you just sing to him and everything's good?
Actually, we don't argue a lot. But when we do, it's more like I just get, women. We either get really quiet.
Women.
That's what we both Like after I like get over my whole like rant of whatever it was that was bothering me, I'm like, women, I'm sorry, I was just being a woman. So, but yeah.
Okay, so here we go. This is a clip of True Bliss. It's only 24 seconds. It's not the whole song, but it's going to be available about a week before Valentine's Day 2016, right here on the Chris Top program.
All things we go through are a part of us. When things get hard and you don't know what to do, remember I already fell in love with you. 'Cause you make me smile, you make me laugh when I cry. It means a lot when you care.
And that's it. That's not enough.
Wow, is not enough. I was getting ready to jam.
I know. I could sit and listen to that clip just over and over again. It's just so happy.
Aw, thank you.
Even my cat loved it. We're just sitting here. Abby's chilling with me, and we're just sitting here, and it's just it's a great song.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, you're welcome. I know you got to be proud of it.
I am proud of it. It's not, I didn't consider myself much of a songwriter until I moved to Nashville. That was when I really started it, and just playing that, because I have played that song live. And so many people have heard it and came up after the show and said, please record this and release it so that we can buy it. And it was just so humbling because I didn't realize that what I had written would actually be something that other people would enjoy and want to hear. So it's really exciting to actually have it and just have that date to be able to look forward to releasing it and have people hear it.
Well, talented people like you have a big responsibility because, I mean, you uplift people like me that can't sing. And, I love to hear stuff like that when I'm in my car, and it just puts me in a good mood. So, shout out from TJ. And then Granny Nita's listening. I feel like
TJ, hey, Grandma Nita.
I feel like I'm part of the family now, so they're cool with me coming over for dinner.
You totally.
Okay, so we're good.
Trust me, anyone. They're so open to anybody.
Good. So
you're definitely welcome.
I just want to make sure I don't want to get shot or anything like that if I just show up.
No. My dad does like to kind of like have a gun on him sometimes, and he thinks it's cool, but
right.
Republicans, but like
Well, I'm just there to eat. I don't even want a present.
What's that?
I don't even want a present. I'm just there to eat.
Oh, even better.
So we're good. So we're good. Okay, so now we're going to play a full song, so I don't want to leave everybody hanging too much.
Okay.
So we've got Nobody Told Me coming up.
Right.
Now, tell me a little bit about this. Where did the inspiration from this come from?
Well, actually, we talked about alcohol a little bit earlier, and this was kind of a big inspiration for this song. I wrote this with a friend, Ryan Human, and we sat down to write together for the first time, and we just got to sharing each other's life experiences. And what we really started feeling inspired about was my story of the experience that I went through in college of getting involved with alcohol and getting wrapped up in that lifestyle, and then being consumed by people that had even been a part of that lifestyle for longer. And they didn't even know any different, really, because that's what they had always grown up seeing and knowing. And me, I knew better, And so when I started doing that kind of stuff, it just consumed me. It changed who I was. And so Nobody Told Me is really, when you're experiencing things like this, a lot of people want to tell you what you're doing wrong, and it's hard for them not to, because they just want to see you do better and do differently and make your life better. And my family and my friends, they all could see that person wasn't me, and so they just kept telling me, why are you doing this? What are you doing? But the biggest thing, and what I want people to know, is that it's important to let someone know that when they make a different choice, if they don't do that thing, how much better their life will be after that change. Because sure, I needed to experience those things in order to learn, and I'm a much better person now that I did experience it and I have overcome it. And so the song is basically, I am telling a friend that is going through a similar situation that there is light at the end of the tunnel, basically.
Sure. And, we put on the earmuffs when people try to talk to us, and we're going out and doing these things that maybe we shouldn't be doing. And the people that are telling us become the bad guys, but they're the ones that love us the most.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
the ones that encourage us are the ones that we should have get out of our lives.
Right. But we're always mean to the ones that love us.
Mm-hmm.
We take it out on them. So,
Absolutely. So this is a great message. This is something that everybody can relate to, too, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, this is called Nobody Told Me, Chelsie Nicole on the Chris Top program. Sometimes when you listen to certain songs, you can kind of hear that maybe the person that's performing is kind of faking their way through it a little bit. But it sounds to me like you totally know what you're talking about here and you live this.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the range in your voice is great.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It just floors me every time I hear it.
Oh,
it's
thank
wonderful.
You.
And I want to play All a True Bliss, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm not going
resist,
to.
Chris, resist.
I'm going to. I can't. Hey, I quit smoking. I can hold off.
There you go.
See, I can hold off. I can do this.
You got it.
But as soon as you give me the okay, we're going to do it.
All right.
It's going to be like next year, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now speaking of next year.
But only a couple of months.
Now speaking, it sounds better when you say 2 months.
There you go.
That does sound better. Now speaking of next year, though, now you are actually going to go into the studio with your duet partner.
Yeah, so we're actually, Ryan, who I mentioned earlier that wrote Nobody Told Me, he's also the producer of that song. And so he also is going to be helping Aaron and I produce our first EP. And so, yeah, we are we're still kind of getting our ideas together for the production of it. But we've got about 6 or 7 songs that we're going to be putting on this EP. And a lot of the songs now that we do together are, they're obviously written for duo. So it's interesting because you've got, the perspective of, well, the guy's singing over here and the girl's singing over here, but we're singing about each other. Or you've got the songs where you're hating on each other and you're like, fussing at one another. And we've got a very wide variety of topics. Kind of some things that are very symbolic. We've got a song called "Blindfold Lady," which Aaron wrote, and I helped create the melodies and harmonies and stuff too, and kind of edit some of the lyrics and that sort of thing. And it's just really, really neat. I was excited about him creating that one. It's obviously about Lady Liberty and how she has the blindfold over her eyes and the justice of the people, and if she would take it off. It's such a beautiful symbolic thing, and the song is just so cool and fun. I'm excited for people to hear that. And we've got one called "Walk of Shame," which is really funny. Obviously, it's called "Walk of Shame," so you can imagine what it's about. And yeah, it's just really, really fun. It's got a very bluesy feel, and since I sang jazz in college, I'm really excited about that because I love whenever I can pull out a little more of the blues. Because
I bet you can nail that.
Oh, thank you.
I bet you can. I can't wait to hear that.
Thank you. It seems like that's everybody's favorite. When we play it live, people act like they've known it forever, and they're like tapping and trying to sing along. It's so funny. I'm like looking out, I'm like, you don't know the words yet. Like,
are you going to make me wait a year to hear it?
Am I going to what now?
Are you going to make me wait a year?
Maybe not. Maybe not a full year.
I'm supposed to be in the loop with you.
You will be in the loop.
You sent me because you sent me True Bliss soon.
That's right. I've got your back. Remember?
Right. So we got a thing. We're connected. Okay.
That's right.
All right. Now Susu says fantastic. Sing Chelsea, sing.
Aw.
And we've got let's see.
Thanks, Susu.
JP says Chelsea rocks. She's Chelsea-tastic.
Wow.
He wants you to come to Canada.
Oh, wow.
So
that would be awesome.
At least that's one ticket you'll sell if you go to Canada.
There you go. I actually had another guy message me from Canada and was like, he was sending me links to venues there, and so I'm like, all right, well, we better get on that.
So there's a couple of tickets. You got this.
Exactly. We got.
Now, Jerry and Anita, they said that they love you and they're so proud of you and what you've accomplished, and they hope to see you during the holidays. So
thank you.
You got to make sure you go see them. Okay?
Love y'all too. I will definitely make sure to stop by.
All right. And I think I may have started something. I may have gotten you in trouble because now your families want to know if they can get into the loop as well. So I don't know. I'll talk to Chelsea for you guys. I'll see what we can work out. But I don't know. It's not always. You got to really work toward that stuff. Okay, now, if you had an opportunity, Chelsea, to sit down with anybody, and this could be anybody throughout history, living, dead, doesn't matter, all you've got is 5 minutes, like a 5-minute cup of coffee with somebody, who would it be?
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews?
Yeah.
Okay.
I absolutely love her.
So is she one of your inspirations?
She
obviously?
Is. Yeah. Since I went to... Well, I've always grown up loving The Sound of Music. That's my all-time favorite movie. And I was a very shy person during my younger years. And
you were not. You were not shy.
I promise when I got around people or I got on stage. Now, granted, I still got on stage, so that was the big step.
Sure.
I was still willing to do that, but I looked like a deer in the headlights, and I was just like, oh, what's happening? But I did it, but that was the thing. When I was, I think 14, I did The Sound of Music, and I wanted so bad to be Liesl, but I just was too shy on the acting part, and so I ended up just being a chorus member. But as as we were doing the play, of course, I watched the movie over and over again, and I just love Julie Andrews. Her voice, the classic sound that it has, it's just beautiful. And, you listen to my music, and you don't think... Well, she would sing like Julie Andrews. But when I went to college, I majored in music for 3 years. And of course, I had a vocal mentor. And a lot of the songs, because he knew that I was getting more into the music industry rather than classically singing. So he would pair up with me and pick a lot of musical theater songs.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the songs that we would do were Julie Andrews songs. And I would sing soprano, which of course she sings as well. And I just loved trying to enrich my tone with what she was able to do. Mm-hmm. And she's so poised and beautiful.
She really is, yeah.
Yes. I mean, the class and just beauty, her whole being, like her soul and everything, she just seems wonderful. I would just, every time I see her on TV, I watched her interview and just cried like the whole time for no reason really, but except I was so inspired.
Yeah.
And just love her, you know.
I love talking to you because I can tell while you're talking, you're so excited about your plans and what you're going to do. I know you're smiling the whole time.
I am.
Yeah,
I am.
And
I'm
it
walking
comes
in
through.
circles and smiling.
Yeah. Gina, I hope I say her name right. Gina Harbert.
Yeah.
She says, "Love you, Chelsie Nicole. Shiloh family is proud of you. You're so cool, girl."
Oh,
so
love you.
You've definitely got some
Thank
support
you.
out there.
Yeah.
People,
it means so much. I didn't even expect some of these people to be listening tonight, and it's such a blessing. It makes me want to cry because I'm just so grateful. You know, I didn't expect for people to pick up and listen and follow me all.
Well, they love you.
This.
They love you. And the cool thing about this is, you know, once we're done with the show, it's going to be archived on iHeartRadio, on Stitcher. It's going to go on probably 30 other websites. So, I mean, you'll have a few thousand that'll hear your song and get to know you a little bit.
That's great.
So that is a good thing. It is a good thing.
Yeah.
And we can spread the word, sister.
We need to spread the word, brother.
we got this. Now, so you're gonna get up to date and current on your I guess schedule, so we'll know when I can catch you live, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good. And now, when you hit that pinnacle, when you become a superstar, do I get backstage passes?
Of course,
That
every
is
time
so
you want
important.
them, you got it.
Okay, that way I feel like I'm cool, and I can just kind of hang out backstage. And be like, yeah, I know Chelsie.
Dude, you are cool, and seriously, because I mean, I'll just be honest, you know, and I don't know if I told you before or not, but this is my first interview.
Oh.
Yeah, and so I'm very grateful that you've opened the floor and given me this opportunity to do this. So yeah, you would definitely have first pick every time.
Absolutely, and you got to make me another promise too. Like when you do become
that?
a superstar, you got to come back on the show.
Oh, please. Yeah, I'd love to.
For sure. I mean, I don't care if all the major networks are after you and everything, but you make time for me, okay?
Always.
Okay,
yep.
sweet. Now this could be the most important question anybody will ever ask you in the hundreds or thousands of interviews that are in your future.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
If you could pick a superhero power, what would that power be?
Okay. This question is always really weird for me because people look at me like I'm crazy when I answer it.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay. So the superpower that I would like to have is invisibility.
Now, are you being perverted?
No. And I've thought about that too. I'm like, this sounds really awkward because if I say that, it sounds.
I didn't realize that was the men's locker room.
stalker.
I thought that was the ladies. I'm so sorry.
Exactly. But no, I don't mean it in the creeper kind of way.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, want to make sure.
I mean it as in, like, I absolutely love understanding people and trying to understand people and knowing better ways to help them and be there for them and talk to them.
Right.
And so I see it as kind of this way of the focus not being on me, because a lot of the times I have a personality that tends to take over conversations sometimes or like demand. I'm called the diva, and I try very hard not to be that kind of person. But I think that, having the ability to be invisible would give me the opportunity to see everyone in a different way and really take the time. And I do this, of course. But just to see people being real, and not always that facade that people sometimes put up to try and make themselves seem like they're in a better state of living just to to impress someone or make them feel like they don't have to try to be there for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when really they might need someone to be there for them.
That's an interesting. Yeah, I've never heard anybody explain it like that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm weird, but
well, you're kind of weird, but you're still very likable.
Thank you.
So that's okay. And you will never, ever be invisible. I'm sorry, because you shine too brightly.
Oh,
you really do.
Well, thank you.
Now, Lena, I think is Lena your neighbor?
Lena. Oh, Lena neighbor.
Or is that her last
she's
name?
Not my neighbor.
Okay. She said something. The chat's kind of moving. It says she says, "So proud of you and Merry Christmas."
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and then Gina said, "Just open your mouth and sing, girl. Your voice is God-given and brings joy to our hearts when we hear you sing."
Thank
they absolutely love you to death.
It means a lot. That's so sweet.
That's quite the testimony. They do love you for sure. So lots of exciting things coming up in the future for Chelsie Nicole. More music. I can't wait to play all of your songs, like the whole thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
I'll let you.
and the EP, we're looking forward to that. Just all kinds of cool stuff. And then you're going to keep me posted on your Nashville schedule, right?
Definitely. Yep.
Sweet.
I will.
I can't wait to come see you. And next year, I want to bring this up to you real quick before we go.
Okay.
But every year I'm at BB King's and we do live interviews for 3 days in a row during CMA Fest.
Right.
And if you are in the neighborhood during CMA Fest, I would love for you to come by.
I will go ahead and see now that I will be in the neighborhood, and I would love to be there.
Sweet. Well, then I will put you on the list.
Thank you.
And I usually start organizing this whole thing usually in February or so.
Great.
So you'll come in and we'll do an interview, and then the last day we have like a little award ceremony and all that stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. That's actually how I found out about you. I started seeing some of my mutual friends that were a part of that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you know about the red carpet pictures and all that, and you can.
I've seen a little bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good, and I would love to have you there. So we'll go ahead and plan on that for sure.
Thank you.
Score.
That means a lot.
Sweet.
Thanks.
Sweet. Well, good. I had a good time talking to you, and
Same here.
You are in the family. Well, I know you already have a big family, but you're in my family now too. So anytime anything exciting happens, if there's something cool that comes up you want to talk about, you just let me know. We'll make it happen. Okay.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. You're awesome.
Well, I'm working on it. I appreciate you for saying that. I really do.
We're all working on it, right?
Right. Well, WOBA, working on being awesome. That's my motto. Right?
That's perfect. I love it. I love it so much.
Well, I do appreciate everybody for listening. I really, really, really do. And we had a busy day today, so if you missed any of the shows, go back and listen to them. Lots of inspiration, lots and lots of talent out there for sure. So until I broadcast again, please remember this. Life is good, and I'm gone.
Dark things might be looking grim. I guess it's time for an acronym.
2, 3, 4.